and a sound mind. When you live in fear, you can't walk in power, love, and a sound mind. You can't move as God has called for you to move. You are choosing fear over faith. You are choosing fear over power. You are choosing fear over a sound mind. You are choosing fear over love. This is the reason why in many cases when we begin to operate in fear, the first thing we do is question whether God loves me or not. When you question, think about this. I want you to really think about this. You question whether God loves you. You question whether God, the one who sent his son, the one who created you, the one who breathed life into you, the one who's done miracle signs and wonders on your behalf, the one who raises the dead and heals the sick, that same God, the one who that when you made mistakes, who forgave you on your mistakes, the one that even when you don't do everything right, he never leaves you nor forsake you, that God is the God that you feel don't love you. And the reason why you feel that way is because you've been gripped by fear. And so watch this. Fear made him flee. In 1 Samuel 21, 11 and 12, it says this. It says, and the servants of Achish, catch this. And the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another? Did they not sing one to another of him in dancing, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David's his 10,000s. And David laid up these words in his heart, and was so afraid of Achish, the king of God. And God, now watch this, here's what. Fear distorted his focus. What? Not only did fear make him flee, but fear distorted his focus. What? Fear magnifies the threat and minimizes God. In order for you to operate in fear and live in fear and move in fear, you have to remove God from the equation. I want you to think of it, especially young people. Hear me. Whenever you allow fear to stop you, you got to remove God out of the situation. Because think about it. If you keep God in the situation, God is the God who's able to do the impossible. God is mighty. God is strong. God is holy. God can't be defeated. And so when you got God on your side and you know God is on your side, how can fear grip you? How can you be afraid of something that you know? Growing up, my uncles were my heroes. My uncles were my heroes. My youngest uncle, he's not that tall of a guy. He's not that, but in my sight, he was a giant. He was a giant. Why? No matter what I was going through, if my uncle was near me, it gave me a confidence and a boost that I can do anything. But if I was getting into a fight and my uncle was around me, I just knew that I could win that fight. It wasn't about whether or not I felt I was strong enough, but because I knew who was with me. Because I knew who was with me, it gave me the confidence that I can do what I needed to do. What am I trying to get you to see? When you understand that God is with you and that God is for you, no matter what comes your way, no matter what people try to tell you, no matter what haters try to do to you, fear can't come. Why? Because my elder brother Jesus, oh my goodness, because the God of my salvation is with me, and so I will not fear no evil. David hears the people celebrating his fame. Now, fear rises up in here. Here's the amazing thing. Even when you forget, It's always on the forefront of what God has done in your life and through your life in front of other people. Remember, we said what caused the big rift between Saul and David was that they heard some women singing, Saul has killed his thousands and David has killed his tens of thousands. And here David is now again. He's hearing his enemies who he wants to help him say the very things that didn't they cry out that Saul killed his thousands and David killed his tens of thousands. Something that should have encouraged his faith, something that should have reminded him who he was. It didn't remind him. Why? Because fear had gripped him. And so the thing that should have focused him, the thing that should have allowed him to hear God's voice more clearly, scared him all the more. He got scared all the more because when fear takes root, faith shrinks back. Fear can make you forget who you really are. Now, this was the same David who fought a bear and won. This was the same David who chased the lion and won. This was the same David who fought Goliath, a giant and a warrior from his youth, and won. But yet he finds himself in this situation and now he's afraid. Isn't it amazing when he was all by himself and nobody knew his name? He could fight bears and destroy lions. But now he's in a position that fear has gripped him, and this very warrior, this very mighty man of God is now afraid of the people around him. God did not bring you, catch this because I need you to hear this. God did not bring you this far to bring you this far. God did not bring you this far just to bring you this far. God did not bring you this far to leave you. He brought you through the bear. He brought you through the lion. He brought you through the giants of your life. So why are you tripping in this moment? Why are you wilding out? Why are you not focused? Why are you not understanding and hearing the voice of God? Why aren't you doing what God has told you to do? Why says I'm not throwing stones at you. Truth of the matter is I'm talking to myself too right now. Because there are some things in my life that I put my hands too much in. And sometimes what you got to do is you got to let go and say, God, I need you. God, I need you to guide me. God, I don't understand and know what's going on. I don't know where I am. I don't have a plan of action or a strategy. But one thing I do know, that you are bigger, you are stronger, you are mightier than what I'm going through. And so when it looks like my enemy has the upper hand on me, because you are God and you're God all by yourself, you will protect me. You will watch out for me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. It was all about focus. The reason why he was struggling, because he looked past the God of his salvation and he was so focused on his struggle. What things are you focused on that are taking your attention off of the God of your salvation? What things are you so busy looking at? What things have you stopped looking at your past victories and you become intimidated in your present because fear is controlling you? I need you to know and understand, whether you're in the building or online, that fear may have shaken you, but it didn't stop God, because he's not done with you yet. I dare you to holler out, he's not done with me yet. So as we go in 1 Samuel 21 and 13, it says this, and David, when he heard them, they begin to talk about his fame. They begin to talk about how the women chanted that Saul killed his thousands and David killed his tens of thousands. And watch this. This is what it said. And he said, and he changed his behavior before them, and he flung before himself mad in their hands. That just simply means he began to pretend and scrabbled on the doors of the gate and let his spittle fall down upon his bill. Here's my question for you. How often have you gotten out of character? How often have you gotten out of yourself? How often have you stopped acting like somebody else to make other people feel comfortable? Yeah. God is wanting you to know that in 2025, this is the year that you stop belittling yourself. This is the year you stop dimming your light to make other people feel comfortable. It doesn't matter what they think about you. The reason why some of you getting caught up because they come in and telling you, oh, you think you all that. No, the truth of the matter is it ain't about what you think I think. It's about what you think about me. And what they're really doing is they're really confessing how they feel about you, but they just don't know how to handle their emotions. And so you got to stop dimming your light. You got to stop being less and keep hooping the best that you can. Don't stop it. Keep being the student that you've been called to be. Keep being the example on the job because God has given you this light. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Why? Because I'm the representation of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I am the representation of the God of my salvation. That's why in Isaiah it talked about the cherubims and it began to talk about how they had 6 wings. With 2 they flew and 2 they covered their lower parts and 2 they covered. The reason why they had to cover up because God was so bright. His glory was so bright. And if you spend time in the presence of God, just like Moses, you'll come down to normal people. And Moses had to veil himself because the glory of the Lord was all upon him. And I'm here to let you know, stop dimming your light for other people. If they can't handle the glory on your life, then they can't be around you. Too many of us are backing up. Too many of us scaling back. Too many of us trying to act dumb just so people will date us. If you can't handle me and my intelligence, you just not the one for me, boo. We can be friends. We can be cool. I just can't date you because you're too dumb for me to dummy myself down. You got to stop. You got to stop because here's the thing. Fear made him fake it. Fear made him fake it. Fear will make you act like someone you're not. David pretended to be insane. He scratched walls and had spit coming down. Acting out of fear leads to irrational and damaging behavior. He was anointed, but he was acting like a madman. What parts of your life have you pretended to make other people feel comfortable? What parts of yourself have you pretended to fit in with people that you don't even like?